you want to review recent events, you should check the corpus. Why not open your ring terminal and take a quick look? Strange. I feel as though my body's become lighter. Are you thinking what I'm thinking, Sam? You might be able to jump much further than usual. Perfecto. Becco. Becco. What's coming? Becco. Becco.
Dove cazzo sei?
Back up. Back up. Back up. Back up. Something's coming. Watch out!
Dispersense i muscoli! ¡Cásenlo! Hands up!
Back up.
¡Encuéntralo! Hunt them down.
ice pillars are a real nuisance. Think there might be a way to destroy them?
Speckle. 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 Corta! Take it, fight!
Got him on the ropes. He's trying to flee to the church down below us.
Back off. Back off. Back off. Back off. Corta!
Recognize his face?
No, I don't.
Sam, do you read me? Come in, Sam. Come in.
We were whisked away to that strange place again.
What? We only lost you for a few seconds.
And time must flow differently over there, like on the beach.
Well, glad you're all right. The tar currents seem to have settled down, so we'll be able to surface there shortly. Just sit tight, okay?
Now displaying your current order grade.
Sam, why don't we return to the DHV Magellan and get some rest? You can ask Fragile to look into that card you obtained as well. Oh, seems all the positions you had earlier are in that open space over there.
Back off. Back off. Back off.
Sam, we've uncovered some new information about that ID card you brought back. I'll give you the details on the bridge.
That place we were sent to, the land of the dead, it strikes me as odd that it was submerged underwater. And did you see those columns of ice, the ones descending from the surface all the way to the floor? Afterwards, I realized what they reminded me of. The columns were reminiscent of a phenomenon known as brinicles. When seawater freezes and turns to ice, salt concentrates are released into the surrounding water. This brine is heavier than the water around it due to its higher density. It therefore sinks deeper into the ocean. As it flows towards the ocean floor, its lower temperature results in the formation of ice. And as this process continues, it can produce column-like ice structures. Any living creatures unfortunate enough to become entangled in these can be frozen solid. Little wonder they're called icicles of death.
His name is Neil. Neil Vanna.
Neil Vanna? Oh, here I thought he said Nirvana. There must still be tar in my ears.
It seems that the ID card you brought back belonged to the man himself. Charlie helped me dig up the details.
The card was issued by Bridges years ago, when the chiral network was still being developed. Records confirm that Vanna has been dead for some time.
So he was a member of Bridges?
No, it doesn't look like he was.
Vanna was a porter contracted by Bridges to handle jobs with special requirements. Like all of you, he was a doom sufferer who leveraged his abilities.
A top-notch porter by all accounts. He worked the Mexican border. Brought over all kinds of useful stuff.
Ostensibly, resources and medical supplies. But in truth, he transported drugs and other prohibited goods.
So he was a smuggler.
Vanna's ID card served as a key to some of Bridges' secure installations, though only a select few, of course. Specifically, those dedicated to the BB experiments, along with various other medical facilities.
I believe that the place you went to for counseling was one of them.
But everything in that area was obliterated 11 years ago by a void out, one in which Neil Vanna died. And from which you alone, Sam, were fortunate enough to emerge alive. Prior to all that, your counseling sessions made you a regular visitor, yes? Well, records indicate Vanna frequented the same facility. There's a fair chance that the two of you might have met before. Do you recall seeing him?
It's hardly surprising. A great number of people pass through there all the damn time. No one would remember them all.
Sam, it's Charlie. We've received your next assignment. This main order can be undertaken by accessing the delivery terminal at East Fort Knott. While you attend to that, we'll continue our investigation into Neil Vanna. I'll keep you posted.
Feeling well rested after some quality shut-eye? Did you notice, Sam? You have a new pair of glasses. I'm not sure who left them here, but I'd say they belong to you now. Neil Vanna, a porter employed by Bridges. A man not unlike yourself, it would seem. But why did he appear in that so-called Nirvana, or rather, that realm of the dead? And then there's the fact that he clearly spoke Lou's name. If we have another opportunity to visit that mysterious realm, then perhaps we can get some answers. The times we've encountered Neil Vanna, the first was amidst flames, and the second was in what seemed to be flood-ravaged ruins. Now, I believe that you were previously transported to a realm not unlike a battlefield. The places we found ourselves in are similar in that they were the sites of disasters. This is just a theory, but it could be the case that what we've seen is a reflection of Neil's mental state. He may have been a first-hand witness to a terrible tragedy which left a lasting mark on him.
Thank you, Sam.
Sure.
Thank you, Sam.
It's no trouble at all.
By the way, Sam, you saw Tomorrow with the apples in the corridor, right? It seems she was training, trying to gain more control over her temporal abilities. Taking green unripened apples and attempting to age them until they're red and ready to eat. But she's still having trouble getting it just right. She's taking it too far and making them rotten. There's no need to rush things. She'll get the hang of it soon enough. In the meantime, let's continue to support her.
it your all.
From this location, you should be able to see some snow-capped mountains, Sam. Your next objective can be found in the heart of them, in the form of the Eastern Environmental Observatory. Once again, you'll need to link up several sites en route to this destination. The first such site to be brought online is the Chronobiologist Shelter, which is due west. Pick up the main order on this delivery terminal in order to begin.
Order accepted. Thank you.
Process your orders and requests.
Good to see a friendly face. It's been a while since I've had visitors. I'll check your cargo right away. Flawless condition. I'm impressed. I mean it. Wait, is that what I think it is? What? I should have no trouble continuing my all right.
Now displaying your current order grade.
I'm finally part of the chiral network. I've been looking forward to this moment. I should be able to conduct research at a faster pace than ever. Please accept this by way of thanks. I picked up this accessory in the UCA. You should try attaching it to your backpack. Who knows? It might bring you good luck. Oh, and in case you're curious, the cargo you brought me contained a stock of cryptobiote variants. I've taken to calling them chronobiotes. They appear to alter your body's internal clock for a brief period when consumed. Just another example of the many ways the Death Stranding is wreaking havoc on our perception of time. It's introduced us to timefall and the beach, as well as the EEs that brought about previous mass extinctions. You know, I can't help but wonder if extinction entities are related to chronobiotes. Anyway, I'm glad you're here. Especially with the strange incidents we've been hearing about lately. Well, the porter who used to come through here was attacked by something. It was bad enough that they gave up doing delivery work for good. They still managed to deliver my last shipment, but it was covered with strange dents and markings. When I asked what had happened, they just said it was the work of the Headless Rider. People have been talking about the Rider for a while, actually. And there's this guy not far from here who's dedicated to studying strange mysteries like that. I sent him some details, and he said he'd need to ask around for someone to lend him a hand. You should keep your eyes peeled for trouble until he figures out what we're dealing with. So I've heard a little bit about Hartman's research via the hydrologist. You know, the mass extinctions of trilobites, ammonites, and the dinosaurs. Well, apparently, all these ancient events were set in motion by extinction entities. I'm told there was a human extinction entity as well. And that EEs had umbilical cords linking them to the beach, which could be why their fossilized remains were somehow unaffected by the passage of time. The parasitic chiromicrobes that latch onto chronobiotes also originally came from the beach. So, you could even think of them as another form of umbilical tether linking their hosts to the other side. It's a pattern that shows we can't discount the possibility that a new EE might yet be born. And the reason why I believe further study of these microbes could help prevent another extinction event. Now that I have a chiral network connection, this sort of research should finally be possible. They're cryptobiotes that have become infected with chiral microbes, parasites that induce changes in the host. Chronobiotes can accelerate various processes within the human body. Simply put, eating one should make everything around you appear to move more slowly. Much like timefall, which ages everything. And the beach, where time stands still. This disruption of the natural temporal flow is linked to the underlying mechanisms of the Death Stranding. Continued study of chronobiotes should therefore help us to solve the greatest mystery of our times. At least, that's what I've come to believe. I hope this isn't the last time we meet. With no one else around to make deliveries, I was beginning to think I'd have to call it quits. Oh, by the way, a suborder just got posted about those strange incidents I mentioned. You can check it on the delivery terminal here. It's probably in your interest to find out more anyway, given how much time you spend outside. And, who knows, you might even be able to convince them to join the chiral network, too. I just hope we can get to the bottom of things sooner rather than later. Thanks again, and take care.
Well then, Sam. By the way, we have info on Nilvana to share. Could you join me on the bridge?
Order completed. Well done. Order accepted. Thank you.
Take care, Sam.
We managed to learn a few more things about Neil Vanna. You may remember that he was a porter contracted by Bridges. That's what we told you before. Since then, I received a mail.
Another one from our very own Hartman, I'm guessing. Look, we sure we can trust them? Whoever they are?
They are almost certainly someone on the inside. Someone with access to the UCA's administrative systems. It seems Neil Vanna was attending therapy sessions.
But the real revelation is who Vanna's therapist was. Charlie, can you please explain?
A specialist who worked with other doomed sufferers, including one Sam Bridges. She was your therapist and your partner.
Lucy?
Neil Vanna's name was on our client list. Right there in black and white.
That's crazy.
We also uncovered a photo you should see.
Per the records, they perished in a void-out which claimed an entire city. A void-out only you survived, Sam.
Lucy was pregnant at the time.
It wasn't mine. The child she was carrying. She straight up told me to my face. I never had any kids. She was just my shrink, helping me to work through my often phobia. That's all she ever was to me.
Hi, Sam.
Nothing like a warm shower. You and Neil Vanna have a stronger connection than I realized. There must be some reason why he keeps appearing before you in that mysterious realm. Admittedly, while we've only seen a few pieces of the larger puzzle, it may lead to discoveries you might struggle to accept. Nevertheless, I commend you for your courage in facing your past head-on thus far. I say this with the utmost sincerity. When you consume a chronobiote, your perception of the world around you dramatically slows down for a brief period. It's not hard to imagine why that'd be beneficial in the middle of a fight. You'd have a much easier time lining up your shots, and I'm not... It's...
You really don't remember me.
That woman just now, was that...
Lucy. That was Lucy.
Ah, yes. She was your therapist, wasn't she?
Ooh, just the man I've been waiting for. The Metagenomicist's main order is prepped and ready for you. We'd like you to capture the timefall-resistant emu I identified and take it to her shelter. You might find the capturing part tricky, but if you're real quiet, you shouldn't have too much trouble getting close. Now, this emu appears to possess certain unique temporal properties. It may well have some kind of connection to extinction entities as well. The Metagenomicist might have different insights into its nature given her specialization, though. Personally, I'm hoping this might lead us to a major breakthrough. Help us out, Sam.
Order accepted. Thank you.
Things been okay? Huh. Didn't expect you to bring me this. But I'm...
Now displaying your current porter grade.
So, I finished examining that cargo you brought. Now, I know this isn't your fault, but this thing has been absolutely savaged. I highly doubt human or animal involvement. Kinda looks as though it was battered with a large heavy pole, but... And there are also parts that appear to have been melted. Not to mention the unusual tie marks imprinted on the surface. Putting all the pieces together, I reckon this is likely the work of the Headless Rider I've heard rumors about. In all honesty, though, seems like it was set upon by not one, but several riders. Sheer damage is proof enough of that. Yeah, we're looking for multiple villains, I'd say. But they won't come out and wreak havoc at just any old time. There's gotta be a reason they attack travelers when they do. Mind helping me figure out what that reason is? That way we can set the minds of porters like you at ease. Once we know more about them, I can use that chiral network to enlighten everyone else, too. Indulge my curiosity and I'd be happy for you to hook me up, is what I'm trying to say. If you're keen to do so, you can pick up the sub-order I posted. I've included the relevant information in the order details. Be sure to look it over should you choose to take it on.
Order completed. Well done. Order accepted. Thank you.
Okay, Sam. Why don't we begin by considering what we already know? If nothing comes to mind, take a look at the order details to refresh your memory.
Disengaging weapons restriction.
Take care, Sam. Good morning, Sam. Sam, the headless rider attacks were reported in this area. Look around. See anything strange?
Anybody out there? Go! Hey, ya!
What's happened to it? Don't tell me it's been hacked. When do highways float in the air? Up, up, and away! Highway in the sky. And now we find ourselves trapped. You ready for anything, Sam?
Welcome, Sam. I prepared this little stage here special for you and you alone. And I know you're gonna make the most of it.
Pigs? These must be ghost mechs? I suppose there were no headless riders after all then. We need to destroy them all. Let's get a move on, Sam. Sam, try ramming their vehicle with yours. That's how you do it, Sam. One. You're a pro! Yeah, come on! You're one hell of a driver! See it, Sam? One of them is different from the others. That has to be the unit that's hacked into the auto paper. last one. Highway disappearing? This isn't good, Sam. Whoa! Ah! Seems the day is ours, Sam. Oh, what a relief to have made it safely back to the ground. There's no sign of our adversaries. The strange road has vanished without a trace, too. Everything seems fine now. Let's go and give the ghost hunter the good news.
Let's get a move on.
the...
Well. Handled that job for me, huh? Let me just review the order details. That was a hard one for you. I feel as though I can really trust you. We're forced, so you know. I've decided to increase the amount of materials you can withdraw from me. All right. I'm ready to join the...
Now displaying your current order grade.
Thanks to you, we can finally close the book on the mystery of the Headless Riders. Troubling rumors like that have a way of putting everyone on edge. Makes them want to stay inside all the more. Out here especially. Saw too many people cutting ties and keeping to themselves. Can't say any of us anticipated that the riders would be ghost mechs, though. And those mechs have some... Well... Yep. And... What? You're wrong. I'd heard a few stories about the red-clad warriors before you came through. That Higgs might be the one leading them came as quite the shock. He's the same bastard that's been distributing weapons all over the place, right? Trying to get everyone to take up arms and sow discord. Forming lasting connections is out of the question if we can't find common ground. The spread of weapons and violence is a lot more terrifying than any sort of paranormal activity, if you ask me. It's a single-use weapon. All you have to do is aim and throw. It fires several projectiles at once, which can lock onto multiple targets in range. Though, if you want to pummel a single enemy with overwhelming force, well, that's a viable option too. It's great for incapacitating humans, killing BTs, or disabling mechs as needed. It's quick and easy to use, so consider keeping one on hand for emergencies. Ever since the death Stranding, sightings of paranormal phenomena have been steadily increasing. Though a lot of these can be chalked up to simple misperception or misinformation. Among all these claims, tales of supernatural entities are especially common these days. And as a ghost hunter, I investigate the more promising reports to see if there's any truth to them. Unfortunately, it's not feasible for me to go out and do research right now. So I have to rely on others to do my fieldwork for me. You've done some wonderful work for me, Sam. So much so that I'd love it if you could continue. I intend to carry on with my research. There are a few things that I'm still pretty curious about. Maybe they're nothing more than baseless rumors, but if any seem promising, I'll contact you via the SSS. I hope I can count on you when the time comes. Good luck with your deliveries. Take care.